Hello to everyone and welcome to another song tier ranking. This time we are continuing on with the Weeknd's trilogy. We are covering his second mixtape in the project, which is named Thursday, and which is, in my opinion, the best Weeknd project ever so far. I mean, his career is over, right? He killed off his Weeknd persona, right? It's totally not a lie, right? If this is your first video of mine, you might have noticed that the tiers look a bit different than the normal SABCDF. The explanation for those tiers are in the House of Balloons video that I did first. So check that out if you're interested. But I believe I've labeled these tiers well enough that you will get it by intuition alone. So let's start. The first song is Lonely Star. Lonely Star to me is a comparatively mediocre opening to a otherwise really good project. I've never really liked this song. I couldn't really bring myself to like it. I don't know why. The thing about Thursday is it has a really loose narrative arc which he won't do again until after hours. I don't know why. He seems to be a really good album storyteller, if these two projects are any indication. So on first listen, this may seem like the Weeknd being his usual arrogant self to you, the audience. But as you listen on to the project, you will realize that this is the start of a particular story with a particular person, who we will name Valerie for obvious reasons. And Lonely Star is introducing her to his world, enticing her. And if you look at the lyrics, the Weeknd was negging people before negging was even a term. So that's something interesting for you to realize now. The main reason I don't really like this song, I think it's mediocre because of the music. It doesn't give me that much to speak on. I'm going to give it a This Exists. It's not really a terrible song, but it doesn't really excite me all that much. The next song is Life of the Party. So continuing on from the last line of the previous song, she loves the guitars. Well, this is a all guitar sample song. I feel like Life of the Party is the very first song where the Weeknd shows how truly evil and depraved he can be. I won't say it's the most evil the Weeknd has ever been. That's for another project in due time. But yeah, here he shows Valerie, well, she's the life of the party. If she just complies, then she can have everything she wants. And by complying, he means, take all the drugs in the world. Again, a very nice gentleman, this Weeknd boy. And as such, I really like the guitar implementation in this song. It sounds very menacing, right? It's very stalking, it's very brooding, it's very, well, evil. And interestingly enough, this is the probably only song, at least only song by the Weeknd, where there is a third verse instead of a bridge. And I would say that that is to the song's detriment. It makes the song a bit overlong. I mean, he's not adding that much detail into the song, right? He's not a particularly great lyricist. I would say this is better than Lonely Star. It furthers the narrative of Thursday, and I'd say it's pretty good overall. The next song is Thursday. Thursday, the title track, I would say is my first absolute standout song from this project. A lot of Weeknd songs from this era are very mood based, very vibe based. They want you to drown in them particularly. And Thursday, it actually succeeds very well in making you drown in it. I mean, this song doesn't push the narrative further all that much because it's just, a very interesting conceit, Valerie only comes to him on Thursdays because on every other day he's going to see someone else. And I mean, the Weeknd has been promiscuous before. I mean, we know him to be that way since the first project, but here he's making it a bit more interesting. I mean, to think about it, he's specifically talking about the Thursday girl and not any other girl. Not the Friday girl, not the Monday girl, but the Thursday girl. And as we'll find out, well, there's a reason for it. The mood of this song is very hypnotic. It's very sick. The melodies are very cyclical, and that really helps me to just, immerse myself into the entire atmosphere of it all. So yeah, I really like this song. It's probably one of his best songs. Maybe not ever. I feel like this song could have been more substantive. I don't really like mood based songs in general, but if you're going to do a song like that, this is one of the better ways to do it. The next song is The Zone. This song aged pretty well, didn't it? The most immediate standout thing about this song is the groove, very start stop. I like it, it's very interesting. I wish the rest of the composition, was just as interesting to me. And since this is the first song, by now the existentialist in him has risen and he is afraid of dying tonight. He doesn't want to feel you, just wants to touch you. Standard Weekend fare. And Drake is here. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. I mean, if you have just started listening to The Weeknd in the 2020s, maybe this would have been pretty surprising considering what happened in 2024. I am not the biggest fan of this Drake verse. I mean, it's structured fairly well. Drake stays on topic, and by topic, I do mean that he also kind of plays into the narrative a bit. Is almost like he's taking The Weeknd's place for a moment and still staying on the story. But I don't know, something about this verse just doesn't pull me in. That's not me hating the song, but I'd say I respect this song more than I like it. So I would say this is pretty good, but not a song that I would seek out on my own pretty much most of the time. The next song is The Birds Part 1. So remember when I said that Life of the Party was the very first song in Trilogy that showed how evil and depraved The Weeknd can get? Well, The Birds Part 1 is where the mask slips and he doesn't have to pretend anymore to care about the well-being of Valerie. And the music is just as dramatic and, desperate about it all as well. There are marching drums and then there's that really heavy guitar riff in the chorus, and the chorus is the moment where you know that The Weeknd is the villain of this story. You have to kind of feel for Valerie. I mean, she might be as shallow and promiscuous as The Weeknd is, but I don't think you deserve all that. So yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. It is pretty good. So actually no, this is one of The Weeknd's best. The next song is The Birds Part 2. For the longest time, The Birds Part 2 was my favorite song on Thursday, because this is the first song where there are all near fatal consequences to the life The Weeknd lives for him. So my theory on what happens in this song is that Valerie catches The Weeknd with another girl, a girl from another day probably, and she kills that girl and shoots The Weeknd in the back. No, I'm not gonna call him evil. I don't know him personally, sorry. And the rest of the song is The Weeknd half lamenting and half being angry at Valerie for, shooting him and killing someone else. The pathos in this song is, The Weeknd doesn't deserve to be angry exactly, but he is, and the music supports that. I like the sampled vocals from another song. I don't know what the song's name is, but the Sandpaper Kisses part. It's really haunting, and the song ends with, the sound of multiple crows in the distance. Yeah, probably one of The Weeknd's most haunting songs ever. And as such, I won't say the song has shrunk on me, but it's not my favorite song on this album. Still one of his best. The next song is Gone. This is the most Trilogy song on the album and on Trilogy. Why? Well, let's think about it. It's around 7 to 8 minutes long. It's about nothing in particular except for the normal Trilogy topics, hedonism basically. It's a very hypnotic, repetitive melody that goes on for a bit too long than it should. So yeah, when I say that this is the most Trilogy song in the Trilogy, I mean it for the verse. I actually used to like this song on first listen, in my first few listens, but as I kept listening, as I thought about it, as I poured over the lyrics, which there isn't much to pour over, yeah, this is the most existing song of The Weeknd's entire career, probably. This song didn't need to be 8 minutes long. This didn't need to exist. The next song is Rolling Stone. For the longest time after the Birds Part 2, this was my favorite song on Thursday. Because it's the most sonically standing out song on Thursday. I mean, it's mainly an acoustic song, an acoustic guitar song. Think about it. He hasn't repeated that all that much, except for maybe Less Than Zero. It has an acoustic guitar. And Shameless. Okay, there might be more examples of The Weeknd and an acoustic guitar, but anyways, Rolling Stone is him directly talking to his audience, us. And the main message of the song is that he is pretty ambitious. He's currently nobody, but he wants to be somebody, and he did succeed on becoming a somebody. But he doesn't want to change all that much as a person. He doesn't want to let fame distract him from what he truly wants. But he knows that it's a losing game. He will be different, but he hopes that we won't be different. We will stick by his side for however long he makes music. It's probably one of the most emotional songs on Trilogy, like sentimental, and for the longest time I was hooked to it. I mean, I kinda still am, but I'm talking more about the sentimentality of it all, the fandom of it all. I would say the song has shrunk on me a bit, but not enough to still call it one of his best. As an aside, I find it really funny that The Weeknd didn't trust his audience to understand the metaphors in the music video. Which, I mean, your audience is not slow, Weeknd. Or even if they are, have some trust on them, maybe. The next song is Heaven or Las Vegas. For the longest time, this was my least favorite song on Thursday. I really hated the fact that The Weeknd is blaming all of his terrible personality on not having a dad in his life. Which, I mean, personal responsibility is a thing, you know. Maybe look it up. But the more listens I gave it, the more I realized that this song is essentially trying to say that The Weeknd is always going to remain a villain, at least in the Trilogy era. And if you look at it from that lens, then this song's inclusion on this project makes a lot more sense. He doesn't care about Valerie, he doesn't care about any girl he's been with, he just cares about what they can give him. I guess at the time I was kind of a moralist. I didn't like, villain songs, especially if the composition was just, okay. But yeah, I guess I've matured. Probably my favorite moment in this song is the post chorus where the guitar chugs come in and it's, really menacing. It's really evil. Having said all that, I wouldn't give this higher than a This Exists. It's still not a song I really seek out in Thursday. Anyways, so that was Thursday. Now you may be wondering, Shiver, why haven't you given a best song on project to Thursday? Well, the answer is I haven't given a best song on Thursday so far. As it turns out, there is a bonus track on this album. It's called Valerie. Remember? And it's the best song on this album. I love how emotional this song is. I love how heartbroken this song is. It's not really heartbroken. The Weeknd is not heartbroken, but it sounds so sad. And it sounds so intense about that sadness. The thing about this song is it's revealed that Valerie still loves The Weeknd. And The Weeknd is still cheating on Valerie. I mean, is it cheating when you are promising to not be loyal to anyone? A very philosophical question. But when The Weeknd says from Valerie's perspective, you'd rather this than be alone. Yeah, I see a lot of myself in Valerie. Please don't ask any personal questions. There is a bit of funniness in how intense The Weeknd's performance on this song is, his vocal performance. It really feels like he is given his all to this song for a girl he may or may not care about. We never really learned. But when I listen to this song, I don't really think about the funniness, the irony of the situation. It's just, it's very melancholic. Brings a tear to my eye. So anyways, that was Thursday by the Weekend. I'm trying to think of what to say, but I feel like this list says a lot in and of itself. There are at least 7 songs I can recommend from this album, and from a 10 song album, that's a lot. If you like this video and my analysis of these songs, my opinion of these songs, do the usual stuff like share, comment, subscribe. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments below about these songs and Thursday in general. I mean, it is one of my favorite projects by the Weeknd, so yeah, I'm pretty interested. And yeah, that's it from my side. Uh, Thanks for watching.